How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 47 of our West Ham United career mode, and into the transfer window we go. Hello, hello, hello. But before we do that, obviously, every game I've been giving out 6 points, 3 to our best performer, then 2, then 1, and we've been keeping track because, of course, like what we did with the awards with the last season, we will have a season player of the year, and the player of the year from me will actually be determined by these standings that we give out every game. So currently the leader in the clubhouse through January 1st is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with 24 points. He's opened up a big lead on Carroll, Downing, Cresswell, and Adrian, all joint level on 14 points. And then you can see almost every player on our team has picked up points. Keate's next with 12. He's the only other man in double digits. And you can see we have a huge list. So obviously, if you want to take a look at the full list, be sure to pause the video and just give it a quick read through. But we have a ton of players in here that have really done really well. And it shows the depth and the quality that we do have on our team, which is fantastic. And of course, Oxlade-Chamberlain leading the way. But with that, we do get into the transfer window because it has hit January. It's the winter transfer window. And to start things off, I went to the board. I had about $1 million in funds and maybe 15 in the wage budget, 15K. So I said, you know, DS and DG, David Sullivan, David Gold, I said, fellas, I'm going to need a little bit of funds if we want to try and do anything here to improve the squad for this year and or next. So I asked for $4.25 million. They ended up giving me about £2.4 million, which isn't bad. Also, a couple of players we inquired about. Sertic, Bordeaux want £10 million. Reading, even for Jordan Obita, who I want is just like a backup fullback, they want £2.9 million. So it would be a little bit tough here. You can see our schedule coming up. We have a ton of matches. We have 8 matches in the month of January. We have an FA Cup match, 2 Capital One Cup matches, obviously the semifinals at home and away leg, and then a ton of Barclays Premier League matches, 5 of them to be exact. So we are going to be running up a tough schedule here. We come up against Swansea City in the first game of the episode, and they have been struggling this year. They're sitting in 16th, which is 17 points, not far adrift of the relegation place. I think relegation place is 18th, is with 16 points right now, so they're just a point away, while we sit in 5th, looking to continue our ability, you know, pushing on towards the Europa League place yet again, or if we do somehow, you know, continue up this form, maybe squeak into the Champions League. That would be ideal to get a 4th place finish and at least get a Champions League qualifier, but we'll have to see. Come out in a 3-5-2 formation. Valencia and Wickham leading the line. Ravel Morrison sitting behind. Oxlade-Chamberlain and Cresswell acting as our fullback type wingers in this formation. So we'll see how things go for us. Obviously, 3 at the back is something we have to use from time to time because it has worked out very well for us, for one, and then for number 2, just because of fitness issues, we don't have a ton of fullbacks in the squad right now, which is why I am looking at Obita. And it's why we have to mix up the squad and go 3 at the back sometimes, because we do have a nice gamut of strong center backs. We have 4 really good center backs, plus Keate, who's a central defensive mid by trade, but can also play as a center back. So we have a lot of guys that can fill in that role, but not a ton of wingers, or fullbacks, I should say. So we do have to mix it up on occasion if someone like Jenkinson isn't fully fit for a match. You know, that's just part and parcel of the managing and what we're going to have to do here. But we get off to a wonderful start here. Ravel Morrison plays a lovely 1-2 to Connor Wickham. He then tries to play Wickham through. He gets a bit fortunate on the ball coming off a Swansea defender, but Wickham doesn't even have to take a touch. He just waits for the ball to settle and slots it into the bottom corner. Great finish by the former Sunderland man, and that's actually his first goal in the Barclays Premier League for us. Connor Wickham, bit lucky there, and then he just side foots it home past Fabianski. It's a great finish. You know, really cool, composed from the youngster Wickham, who's coming in. Obviously, Andy Carroll not fully fit for this game, so I decided to rest him and focus him on the Everton game. Everton obviously played us a lot better than Swansea did the last time we faced them. So I thought, you know, coming out with a little bit of an experimental lineup, seeing how the Valencia-Wickham partnership worked out, Ravel sitting behind them, just see how that played as opposed to using all our regular stars. Ravel showing some lovely skill there as he skips over top of the defender, floats it in toward Valencia, and it is a wonderful block by Swansea, but it really shows off Ravel's skill, and I thought he looked absolutely fantastic in this game. Noble does a really good job intercepting a pass here, plays enter Valencia through. It's a simple finish for the Ecuadorian hitman. Really good goal, and he looks to be potentially regaining that form that saw him finish right up at the top of the Barclays Premier League goal-scoring leaderboard last year. Obviously, didn't lead the league in goals, but he was right up there with the best scorers in the season. It's a fantastic goal. It's a lovely ball from our captain, Mark Noble, our vice-captain, of course, behind Kevin Nolan, but our captain pretty much for every game because Nolan isn't a regular starter. Great ball forward. Valencia, cool, composed finish. Just pulls it onto his left foot just to give him a little bit more space to shoot at. and slides it in under the Fabianski, who then takes out his own man, of course. But a great goal. You see Ravel celebrating. Ravel, I thought, had some wonderful influence in this game. The only thing unfortunate was he did come off later in the game with injury. You'll see him at one point. You can see he's still in the game right now, but he did come off later with an injury, so we did have to send him out for scans and see what would be going on there, which is a shame because I thought he's actually been playing much better of late, which is why I didn't have any qualms with playing him in our lineup instead of Stuart Downing. But here or there, we obviously still have Downing, who's a fantastic player. We have guys like Kevin Nolan in the team who can slot in if Morrison does have to miss time. Wilfred Boney brings a goal back for Swansea at home at the Liberty Stadium with a really nice finish to the near post. And Adrian, you know, he makes some wonderful saves and then he gets beat at his near post on occasion. So you wonder, maybe he was offsided by Winston Reid trying to block that shot. But Boney's had a poor season, only 2 goals in the Premier League this year. So you can see why he's still at Swansea, because he's been a little bit subpar. That's actually the play that left Morrison injured right there, as he played Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain through in the 64th minute. And his pass across the face of goal, he should have went direct and went straight and shot on the goal, but he tried to go with a little sweaty pass across. Didn't work out, and it actually resulted, of course, Morrison, lovely step over he had on the play and threaded it out to Oxlade-Chamberlain, played him through, but left him injured, and he did have to go away for scans. Rabiot then comes on as a substitute, plays wonderful football right up the middle with Oxlade-Chamberlain. They're just passing the ball back and forth like it's on a string. Oxlade-Chamberlain rounds the keeper and taps it into the back of the net with a little toe poke. He's got the entire net to shoot at, and he puts it away to seal the 3 points away from home. The West Ham fans are jubilant. It's a wonderfully worked play. Rabiot, you can see he has such good passing ability from someone who plays in the deep midfield role, and that's why he's wonderful. I've had some commenters compare him to Andrea Pirlo, a poor man's Andrea Pirlo. He's no Andrea Pirlo. There really is no one like him in the world, but he's got that technical ability, that passing ability that allows him to play some wonderful balls. And really, this was a little bit more simplistic, but it was still really nicely worked and a goal that clinched things for us and sealed the 3-1 victory. It was well deserved, of course. Swansea, as they're wanted to dominate possession, they actually outshot us, but we had more shots on target, more in the back of the net. And with that, the 3 man of the match performances, we have 1 point for Enner Valencia, 2 for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and 3 points for Mark Noble, a 9.6 rating. Completed a ton of passes. He was really everywhere. Of course, had the wonderful through ball to Enner Valencia that set him adrift to score our 2nd goal and allow us to pick up the 3-1 victory. So that's fantastic. And we did get the results from the scan back. Ravel Morrison has hyperextended his knee when he got absolutely buckled up in that challenge. And it'll result for him being out round about 4 weeks. We'll see how long it actually takes him. Because we have such a wealth of players, you know, I don't necessarily feel the need to rush him back from his injury. We then get our first transfer offer of the window. Olympic Lyon coming in for Adrian. You can see he's valued at £6.5 million. They come in for $7 million, and I say, I really don't want to be giving up my goalkeeper at this moment in time, especially in the middle of the season. So I say, if you'll give me £15 million, which is about 250% of his valuation, then maybe we'll talk. So we'll see that. But with Ravel out, it made me really think, you know, Cam is definitely going to be a position that's going to be of need for us. And Clement Grenier is the best player I can bring in on a free transfer. So I decide, you know what, he's very affordable, only 70 grand a week, which is, you know, probably, I think it would put him joint top on our club with like Nkulu, or Nkulu might have 80. So he wouldn't even be the top earner on our team, but he would definitely slot in and be one of the absolute top players that we would have. So definitely someone I want to bring in. We won't be able to hear back from him. We did hear back from Lyon, which is Grenier's team, saying that they didn't want to pay $15 million for Adrian, so they're out of that negotiation. And with that, before we can hear back from Grenier's representation, we come into a match with Everton. We come on a 4-2-3-1. Rodriguez and Jarvis actually getting runouts on the wings because of fitness issues. Rabiot and Delph in the holding midfield roles. Downing sitting just behind Andy Carroll leading the line. So a little bit of a different formation. We'll see. We haven't used the 4-2-3-1 a ton, really not at all in the Premier League. We have used it a bit more in the Europa League, just with the way we've been setting up the team. So we'll see if it does pay off and give us some positive dividends here against a tough Everton side, obviously, who dominated us just a month ago at Goodison Park. They were all over us. They arguably deserved a victory, but we did scrape away a 1-1 draw on the back of an Aaron Cresswell stunner of a free kick. So we'll see if we are able to bounce back the other way here. Everton, though, with a really good chance. Morales plays a wonderful ball across the face of goal into Stephen Pienaar, but his shot goes just wide. And then Stuart Downing here links up with Matthew Jarvis. Jarvis plays a nice 1-2 to Stuart. He has a shot, and it just goes inches wide. And that was something I was very happy with. I thought Downing had looked a little bit poor in the last few games, and it was nice to see him come out and be a bit livelier in this particular matchup because, you know, he's arguably the most key player to our offensive attack, sitting just behind the strikers and really creating everything. So we need him to be in the best of form if we want our offense to be firing on all cylinders, and that he has shown that he's possibly going to be able to do. But Morales nearly puts Everton ahead in the 28th minute. Luckily for us, his shot that goes right past Adrian does strike off the post, and we do come forward moments later. Creswell with a beautiful little turning acceptance of the ball into Downing. Plays it, a wonderful low-driven cross across the face of goal, and Francisco Rodriguez, our youngster, the former Zurich youth product, comes forward and scores a beautiful goal. It's a simple tap-in, all the work done by Stuart Downing there. He beats a defender, gets in behind, and puts it right on a plate for Rodriguez, and there's no chance he's going to miss from there. But it's a wonderful goal, and he's been a player that's had a huge impact since coming back from his loan from Wigan. You wonder if that's turned him into a different player, because in Season 1, he came in the January transfer window, and he didn't have a ton of an impact. I mean, he played a few games, didn't really accomplish much, and he's already scored twice in the Premier League now since coming back from his loan from Wigan in the middle of December. So wonderful to see him get on the board. Downing again puts a ball on the plate, and it's, I mean, who else? He's absolute royalty. Sir Andrew with the finish. Great ball in from Downing. He just floats it up. Like I said with the play to Rodriguez, he puts it on a plate for him. It's appetizing. Carroll says, nom, nom, nom. He must have a mouth on his forehead because he attacked it right there. And it's a beautiful finish from Andy Carroll. Beats Begovic. You wonder if maybe he could do a little bit better, but with a header with such ferocity from the England striker, nothing he could really do there. And it gives us a 2-0 lead, and Carroll gets back within the goal. So wonderful performance here to give us a lead heading into halftime. Of course, a little bit of extra breathing room. Carroll's 9th in the Premier League. He's absolutely deadly right now. I think he only scored 6 in the Premier League last year, so already just eclipsing his total by so much room. And insult to injury, Dell skips past the challenger, plays it into Downing, and the man who set up the first 2 goals picks up the third for himself. So a goal and 2 assists for Stuart Downing in one half of football, arguably the best half of that man's lifetime. Wonderful play, of course. Another goal coming in from the left side. We were just absolutely taking Seamus Coleman to town and task and just dominating Everton here. 3-0, and that pretty much wraps up the points in the first half. That's really how well we played. Downing's just his 2nd goal in the Premier League, but he's created a ton. Obviously, he now has 2 assists just in this game, so he's been fantastic. Everton got a little bit more life in the second half here. Barkley with a strike that Adrian has to do really well at his near post to make a save on, and they do draw one back here as Coleman plays the ball down the byline to Kevin Morales into Phil Jagielka, the center back, who just was getting forward. Everton obviously trying to push for a late goal. And he does get forward into the attack and beats Adrian. So, like I said, Adrian's made a couple of really nice saves, and then he gets beat at the near post by a center back. You have to say, though, Winston Reid in front of him again, so maybe he was off put by the man coming in for the block. But disappointing to give up a goal, and we do manage to create a chance back the other way, though, getting back that goal that we gave up. Rabiot with a wonderful tackle on Ron Vlaar, who's the last line of defense. He just creates his way all the way, lays it off to Diafra Sakho, and the substitute causes absolute scenes at Upton Park with their 4th goal of the night. It's a wonderful finish for him. Obviously, he'll take it. It's as simple as you like. Easiest goal he'll probably score in his career. But when you're a striker who's been, you know, feast or famine, not getting a ton of goals, anything counts for you. And you can see how happy he was when he scored. He's absolutely delighted, and it's good to see him back within the goals. You can see Carroll, who was substituted for Sakho, and our young backup goalkeeper Tom Thomas celebrating the crowd. And it's a wonderful turnaround from our Old Trafford debacle. A huge bit of results. We've scored 7 goals in this episode, conceded just 2, picked up 6 points, and also made a potential transfer move to get Clement Grenier on a free transfer. So really an eventful episode. Be sure to let me know if you enjoyed it. The 3 man of the match performances. Downing gets 3 points, of course. Who else? Fabian Delph with 2, and Adrian Rabiot, the other holding midfielder, picks up 1 in a well-deserved victory. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe so we can see you back in episode 48. I hope you have enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.